What is going on? You are tuned into another episode of Chopping It Up with Q podcast. This is our I guess bi-monthly episode until your boy graduate and all that good stuff. But of course, you already know it's me, Q, and I got my girl, V. What's up, girl?
Hello, 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 everybody. So glad to be back with you.
Yeah, it's been a while. This is like the only time she really does talk to me. It's kind of messed up, but it's cool. I understand.
That's rude and untrue. Somebody also, listen, I can't help it that you decided to have yet another infant. I don't know what you want me to do.
It wasn't my choice. She told me to.
Just told you that you had to, okay. I feel that. Once it's kind of in there, it's in there. So yeah. I feel that.
I mean, the bad thing is, lady, y'all take advantage of the situation. So if y'all tell us to just go ahead and go, we being as slow as we are, we're going to be like, for real? Okay. And, the rest is history.
Well, the thing is, I'm fairly certain you know where the babies come from. I really can't say that this is all her fault.
No, I thought the stork brought them. Hey, it's your body. I don't control that.
The stork brought... So did the stork bring your baby?
Something like that.
Okay, that's what, that's what we're going to go with it. That's fine. The stork absolutely brought that baby to your house. That's fine with me.
Hey, what I told her, she tried to blame me. I said, no, it's your body. I can't do nothing to your body that you don't allow.
You know what? I stand a king of consent now. Petty consent, but consent nonetheless.
Hey, that's just how the game goes sometimes. Oh, man. But I mean, fatherhood is cool. I mean, it's interesting because, like I said, we starting completely over, For those who don't know or remember, I got older kids, I will say. They're 12 and 9, and now we got a brand new who hits a month and a half this Friday, which is crazy. I mean, by the time I get baby girl out, he'll be just 9. Which means I got 9 more years just to get him out the house, hopefully.
This is true. And the crazy part is that means he has 9 years of being like an only, like he will practically be an only child.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Raylan may not play that because, she's the spoiled one, which granted, I did tell Alicia, I said, at least I know that when I get old, I know who got my back. I said, now she got your back. I don't know. Because, but I mean, she does
I imagine she hoped the new baby would even the score, but that does not seem to be the case.
Hey, man, right now she losing. I'm just saying. It ain't looking good. I used to,
a lot of pressure on a 1-month-old baby.
Hey, exactly. I mean, by 1 month, they figure the world out, I think.
Yeah, he already knows what's up.
Yeah, man, he know the game. He know who the cool one. He like, yeah, you know what? You cool, but I fucks with him. That's just how it goes.
So what you're telling me is that the baby at 1 month old, he knew the vibes.
Yeah.
The baby knew the vibes and just knew.
Yeah, it's in the stars.
Okay. I feel it. It's the baby. Sometimes babies know the vibes.
Yeah,
it happens.
It's
guy on Twitter said, how do we know his kids? How we know people don't not fuck with their kids because their babies got bad vibes? So
what?
Kids, so they do know what the vibes are. Listen, if you can have bad vibes as a toddler, then certainly you can scope out other people's vibes as an infant. I feel like you can do that.
That's wait. So I cannot mess with my kids because we just don't vibe like that, and we ain't connected like that, huh?
That man said his baby had bad vibes.
I would love to see that defense in court. I would just want to just be in the jury, and I know it won't go that far, but I just want to be in the room when that happens, just to hear how it plays out.
Yeah, Your Honor. I didn't want to pay child support. I kept and I really didn't have the money, so I was giving what I could or whatever. $20 here and there, and then I wanted to hang out and spend time with the baby and bond some and help his mama out when he was little, but he had bad vibes, man. And yeah. I just couldn't be around that.
Yeah, every time.
He had a lot of.
Yeah, he kept crying and pooping and all that stuff. I ain't got time for that.
he cried a lot, and then that's shitting on yourself. I can't get down with it. Negative
Yeah.
vibes all the way around.
Then they expected me to clean it up. How dare him?
That's wild.
No,
My
man.
coworker, her daughter has that's her granddaughter. Her granddaughter's 3 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and she's still not potty trained.
Oh, somebody failing.
Oh, well, no, it's because her mama think her child got bad vibes, and she always pawning her off on people. And then she said she doesn't want to potty train her because if she has to clean out the potty or change her diaper, it's the same as she has to wipe her ass. Those are that girl's exact words.
I don't think that those things are the same. I'm just
They are not. And as pointed out to her, if you put a liner or a garbage bag or like a Walmart bag in the lining of the potty, you just pick it up and tie it and toss it out.
That's it. I mean, you could rinse it and pour it in the on toilet and just clean it out. I mean, there's so many other ways you could go about it. But you just want to clean a grown kid.
Yeah, bad vibes, man. The shit is the poop is bad vibes.
Man, like, you know what? I've gotten to that point where I don't believe everybody needs children. Like, you ever like the internet has exposed a lot of people and how they raise kids or their philosophy on childbearing. It ain't for everybody, man. I'm sorry. I used to think, yeah, a lot of women are, maternal, and a lot of men really want to be around their kids, and it's like, nah, I can't. I don't know if I can agree with that 100% anymore.
Yeah, it seems like it's just. I think, and maybe, and here's the thing. I think maybe there are a lot of people that were shitty parents and didn't deserve to have kids, but the internet wasn't there for them to willfully and negligently expose their bad parenting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like I'm sure that didn't get their kids vaccinated or whatever before, but now you can get on the internet and tell the world that you don't vaccinate your kids, and people are just like, you stupid.
Oh, sister, what do you mean? Why would they want to vaccinate our kids? They ain't do nothing but giving us the diseases.
Okay.
Why do you think we haven't seen chicken pox in the last few years? See?
Because they weren't real. Chicken pox were made up.
You're right. That was created.
Made by the government.
Yeah, that was created in a lab in Langley. The FBI created the chicken pox in order to eradicate the black man, and in order to then spread to our children and our sisters. And see, you gotta just look between the verses, man. You'll figure it out.
Okay, that was a message brought to you by Hostep Quinton. We could just get back to the regularly scheduled program. Let's just get into that. I would like to start first.
I'm sorry, man. It's always funny every time I hear that type of stuff because, man, you know what? I'm going to have to may have to dedicate an episode on like how do Hotepi people really, how do they get attention like that? I don't know. It's always interesting. I mean, granted, in my darker days, I actually somewhat followed Umar and Tariq and all those guys, and then I finally realized, I say, nah, they ain't it. That's the one thing I hate to admit, but yeah, I wasn't full blown Hotep at all, but I was like, oh, that makes sense. And afterwards, I'm like, nah, I don't think I can co-sign that one. But
well, I mean, and I think and I think it becomes like the woke Olympics. And we've talked about this before. You go from just having some thoughts about, black people doing better and community unity, and it goes from that to some type of crazy conspiracy theory shit. And it's like, does the government sometimes do some crazy messed up crap?
Sure.
Does the government absolutely lie to the general public about certain things in the interest of national security? Absolutely.
Sure.
Do I think that do I think that they're, secretly giving black women periods by genetically engineering cauliflower so that you can feel anemic and have blood loss and you didn't have periods before the government got involved, no.
Yeah, no, at all. But it sounds good.
I'm saying that this is a fine line. Like and that's why I tell people I don't think there's ever anything wrong with a good, healthy amount of questioning things. But at some point, you have to use common sense, and I don't think it's that common anymore.
Yeah, it'll be one of those things where they say, "Hey, man, you remember the Tuskegee experiments, right? Yeah, brother, that was kind of rough. Yeah, so now think about vaccinations. Like, wait, no, that everybody gets vaccinated. You got vaccinated. What are you talking about?"
It's like nobody. It's not. They're not giving you. It's okay. Just relax.
I remember I asked them one day. They were trying to say, "Oh, it's bad," and I said, "Didn't you?" They say, "Did you get it? Yeah. Are you experiencing any of these things? No. Okay."
All right, then enough said.
Oh no.
I guess to down our parenting rabbit hole, I have a good one for you. For those of you who don't know, I am fascinated by Reddit relationship posts and Reddit's "Am I the Asshole" thread. So I have ascertained by reading that the "Am I the Asshole" Reddit is essentially like it's like white people six black chicks or six brown chicks. It's literally like the six brown white people on Reddit. That's absolutely what it is. Like the most outlandish white nonsense I've ever seen in my life. But this one was relatively timid, but still odd. So we'll get into it, and I can get your thoughts. So I'm going to paraphrase because I'm not going to read the entire thing as it is kind of lengthy. But basically, a gentleman said that his daughter, who I forget, is either 11 or 12, has been stealing lunch money out of his wallet. Now, he explains it as the girl is allowed to go in his wallet and get lunch money, but she's supposed to be getting a set amount. So I'm assuming maybe $5 or $6, maybe $5, $10. Not a whole bunch, but, some money. It apparently appears to him that she's stealing far more than what would be her normal lunch amount. So he decides to essentially run a sting operation on his own 11-year-old.
Makes sense.
20 in his wallet.
I said it makes sense. I'll do it.
Yeah, he does a sting operation, plants a 20 in his wallet, tells her to go get her lunch money. She takes the 20. So he drops her off at school, calls two of his cop buddies to come to the school, and they meet the child there to catch her in her lies and deceit and her theft. Once they get to the school and he has thoroughly embarrassed the child, he kind of finds out that the reason that she has been taking the extra lunch money is because she has a friend who cannot afford to buy lunch and has been going hungry. So she has been buying lunch for this friend, and she is also being bullied by someone who is forcing her to also buy them lunch. So obviously this poor child is mortified, and this is confirmed that she's being bullied. So I'm sure that made that worse. And then her poor friend, now everybody knows she's poor and can't afford food. So then he gets back home, and his wife is obviously upset, and she says that he's ruined his relationship with his child forever. And he just says, hey, I don't think it's beyond repair. I just feel like she needed to learn a lesson, and that's why I got my cop friends involved, because she needs to learn that stealing is bad. And he says, am I the asshole? So I'll let you go first, but is he the asshole?
Okay. Here's what you got to do. See, you just got to double down. You say, no. See, none of this would have happened if she would have just came to me and told me everything. See, if you're going to do something, just stick to it. You got to, hey, you're already in there. You got to keep going. Now, but,
So he also says that at some point in this, which I pointed out to someone else, he mentioned that he was like, I could have just asked her about the money, but he felt like she would have just lied if he had asked her why she was taking the extra money.
True.
And so I guess it's fair to put that in there as well, because he brought it up in the post that he felt like if he would have just asked, she would have lied to him.
But the sting operation is just so much more satisfying. Don't you think?
So would you also call the cops on your child and take them to her school for themselves?
No. See, most likely I would have did something like, probably more. See, you got to put on a ski mask and you scare them, and then you like rock. Now, just rob them. Yo, I need that $20 in your pocket. How you know I got $20? Don't worry about it. I just need See, in that situation, it is best to just ask, like, hey, did you get your lunch money? Yeah. How much is your lunch? Is your lunch $20 now? No. Well, what have you been doing with all this money? I've been counting. And do like to count. Be like, yeah, I've been counting. And I realize I'm missing $40 out of my wallet.
$40.
Exactly. But I mean, granted, you can assume that she'll lie. I mean, I don't think, depending on her age, I don't think she'll lie. She'll probably be more bashful about the truth. But usually kids are really forthcoming, especially when they're what? Like, I tell everybody, my youngest daughter is probably the most honest person, sometimes too honest. And I kind of have to like tell her dial it back a little bit. But if you ask them a question, you can kind of tell when they're about to come up with some story, because, they kind of get that they're less likely to be forthcoming. But I mean, you still got to ask. You got to test the waters at least. Then you go to the sting operation if they do lie to you.
But the cops at the school, though?
Why not?
Okay, so, obviously, for the sake of transparency, I do not have any children. So, for those of you who know me, know that I don't have any kids. I can only give you my opinion. I do not want you to come into my mentions or the show's comments to tell me how I'm a horrible person and I'll never have any children because you don't agree. Like, honestly, I'm just telling you up front, I don't have any kids. Whatever. There's no manual for them shits anyway. So good luck, everyone, to begin with.
Even if that were the case, say, hey, man, these are my kids and this is my fucked up philosophy. They'll figure, go ahead.
So, okay. These people are obviously and discernibly white. And I say that because who else but white people think that it is okay to use the police as their personal cleanup crew for little mess that happens in their life? Because I do not think that normal, well-adjusted black people who are engaged in any type of politics or read the news or watch television are going to call the police and be like, you know what? My daughter has just been acting a goddamn ass at school. Why don't you go up there and scare her? And granted, you can say what you want about police mistrust or whatever, but I also do not think that black people as a whole feel like the police we do not call the police for stupid shit. Oh. I'm not saying I'm above calling the police if some shit is really going down, but I'm certainly above calling the police for the types of things that white people we clearly have seen will call the police for. So calling your youth officer friends to go to that child's school and pull her out of class seems a bit extreme. It's something that most black people wouldn't think to do.
Nah, I mean, there's a lot of black folks who know who robbed their ass, and they still ain't calling the cops. They like, I'm just figure that shit out.
Like, no, I'll have to. Fuck it. I'm taking out a loan. I'll figure it out. We're not doing all that.
Nah, I know that was Jermaine ass. I'm gonna go find him. I'll take care of it.
So, I guess my question would be in that case, because like I said, I think that dad is kind of an asshole for calling the cops and scaring an 11-year-old. But I also see that maybe dad is overreacting to something that actually needs to be addressed. Maybe not in that way, but certainly needs to be addressed. Because on the flip side of that, those officers were his friends, but we see so many times where these kids are put in jail for what essentially are very petty crimes. Kids that get arrested at Walmart because they stole a piece of candy, or, they didn't have food, so they, took some food from somewhere. People get arrested for theft of very, very minute items because the person that they stole from presses charges.
Decided to press charges.
Right. You stole a juice and a bag of chips because you hadn't eaten in 3 days. And now these kids that are just hungry and are not juvenile delinquents by any stretch of the imagination now have an arrest record and possible jail time on their record for being hungry. And that's the type of world we live in. So it's shitty, but I also feel like there is certainly a level of you do have to teach your kids that stealing things is not the answer.
Yeah.
Because the justice system that we are currently under does not always favor people that look like you and I, and it certainly does not do any favors or lend itself to any type of grace or understanding or mercy for children that we have that look like us.
Hell no. I tell everybody all the time. Ever since I moved to Collin County, it's the most times I ever seen inside of a jail. It's like, swear. And oh yeah, I didn't get to tell that story. The time I got arrested, and I got booked for public intoxication, even though I was a passenger in the car. Now the only issue is, for some reason in the state of Texas, that's the law. If you're just on the public street, regardless of if you're in a vehicle or not, that's technically public intoxication.
But you weren't publicly intoxicated. You were in the car.
I tried to argue the point. Maybe that was probably the wrong thing, because I did kind of piss her off a little bit, because I told her her assessment of the situation wasn't very valid, and I don't think she liked that at all. But,
Well, which officer likes to be told that their assessment of a situation is incorrect?
I don't know. And then, so I had to spend the night. And then, I actually had to go to AA too. Can you believe that shit?
They made you go to AA for being the passenger in a car.
Yes.
That you were not driving.
Mm-mm.
So, okay, I guess my question then is, where does that extend and end? Because they tell people not to drink and drive, to not be a drunk driver, to be safe. So if I call the Uber and the Uber gets pulled over because it was speeding and I'm a drunk in the back seat, do I now get arrested or a ticket for public intoxication?
See, I don't know.
I call a ride, so I call my designated driver to come pick me up. As the designated driver runs the stop sign and we get pulled over, I now have to go to jail for being drunk in the car and calling somebody like you keep telling me to do?
Yeah. Now, granted, my buddy was drunk who was driving. But the issue was I couldn't call anybody because my phone died. And so I'm like, okay, I can't contact anyone. She has his phone. She didn't offer me her phone. So she was like, well, sir, you got to figure it out or I'm going to have to take you in. I was like, well, I could just walk home. No, I can't let you walk. And I said, but it's like right there. It's up the street. Like 10 minutes. She was like, nope. And I said, damn, all right. So she booked me. And
well, Lord, I guess. Well, I guess that's a lesson for all of us in Texas. Don't let your drunk friend drive you unless your phone is charged. You can call somebody else to come pick you up. Because apparently the police won't let you walk home either. Not only can you not drive drunk, you also cannot fucking walk drunk either.
No. Which I'll say this, and I'm a segue back, but AA was interesting. That's all I can say. You remember watching Half Baked?
Yes.
You remember the scene where he went to rehab?
Yes.
It was like that. So you got it was just interesting. Like, you get all kind of stories, and it's like rather extreme. You're like, I don't do any of that. Like, my family isn't ruined. No, I'm not brushing my teeth with alcohol just so I get it on my breath. Like, it ain't. I just got caught slipping one day. So.
And that is the crazy part about me, the levels of people that you have to interact with. And I've always thought that was interesting, that there really is no kind of designation for what you're, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's a drug related offense and you got caught with, some weed and you may, and here's the thing, like, people loophole the law all the time, right?
Yeah.
You get caught with weed and the intent is to distribute, but it's your first time and it's a small amount of weed. So you might be selling it, but you may not have much on you. A lot of people's lawyers will advocate for them to then just go into like a drug rehab program. If they do like the drug rehab program, they just get probation and doesn't go on their record.
Mm-hmm.
They were selling, but and weren't smoking weed, but they could just go be in like a drug rehab and get off scot-free. And there are a lot of people that do that type of shit. So then you have these people in a drug treatment program for a drug that they don't need any type of treatment for, taking out station people that actually do need treatment.
Yeah.
Or you have people that are in drug treatment program, and you sent me to drug treatment program for weed, and there are people in here that have serious addictions to coke, crack, heroin, PCP,
all of it.
LSD. They are literally waking up and taking a cocktail Russian roulette of drugs just to get through the day, to get to lunch, to then go home and freebase some other type of drug, to then get to dinner to freebase some other drugs. And you have me sitting here who actually does not have a drug problem looking at them like,
hey,
you did what?
When I
what happened with the heroin?
Yeah, when you say you feel so out of place because you like, it's the same way he was like, hey man, I want to suck dick for coke. You ever do that for weed? Nope, no, I can't say I have.
No. No. I have not. And that's and the same with alcohol. These people are getting up and literally drinking a bottle of alcohol. They got up at 6, and at 7:30 they're trying to find an open liquor store because they've already drank an entire bottle of handle of vodka.
I've have a alcoholic grandfather. This man, if he didn't drink, he got sick. That's how bad it was. And so I understand what that is. And then when they sent us to Alcoholics Anonymous, I'm like, nah, man, I don't think I belong here. Just let me pay my fine. I'll walk away. But that's the laws for you, man. I guess they trying to a little overcorrection. But hey, that was just a fun experience. It was, look.
Well, I mean, I guess you certainly, remember to charge your phone or get you. Well, we're gonna get you a one of those portable battery chargers, so you can always be able to call. Or maybe we need to write somebody's phone number on the back of the phone or in your pocket. That way, when your phone dies, you can maybe call from the bar and get somebody to pick you up. Because I don't know. I feel like the next time they're gonna keep. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna be like, hey, guess what? So remember that story I was telling you? Is another crazy one. They got me. So I'm gonna need y'all to force.
I need you to get it. I need you to send some money and get in your car and drive 5 hours and come get me. All right.
Come out a few, hour later, be like, man, I don't know, man. I've been on the inside. I'm all institutionalized and shit. I got street cred now.
Oh my God, that's like that time I got arrested and that lady was just smelling my hair and touching my arm in the cell, and I was just like, please quit touching me.
Whoa, okay.
Touch me. Like, I was sitting in the corner crying. It was a lot.
That's what you say, ma'am. Do I know you?
I didn't know her, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And that's the thing. Like, it's Austin. It's literally a bunch of drunk co-eds. It's literally a bunch of drunk co-eds. Everybody's just drunk and sleeping it off for the night. And I get the one motherfucker who's been out on a drug-fueled stabbing binge to be my goddamn self. And I was just like...
Hey,
everybody else was like in a mini skirt who's just cold with their mascara running. And I get the one bitch who probably has a shank under one of her titties. I did not sign up for this.
When I say it's an humbling experience, you be like, man, I'm good. I don't want no parts of this.
I do not want to come back here. This is not for me. I mean, you really don't have to go no time to know it's not for you, but you get 24 hours was enough for me to know. Well, really not even 20, but 12 was enough for me to know.
Hey, man, I'm too small for all that, man.
I'm not gonna go back.
Look, I tell people, I'm not 6'7". I ain't big enough to go to jail or prison. Let's say that. So I try to stay out of it. But to segue back, maybe it goes into a bigger thing, because for some reason, a lot of people have issues just speaking to their kids in general. I know a lot of parents have this authoritarian way of doing things, which is some situation I do say, look, I'm not about to negotiate this. In this particular sense, no. Other times I say, sure, I'll hear you out. That don't mean it's going to change the situation, but I'll at least hear you out so you can tell your side. And if I get it wrong, let me know. But it does kind of come off where he was just because to automatically assume that she going to lie to you is kind of a bad assessment anyway. You should just be like, hey, I'm going to ask. Now, if I find out you're lying, then it's going to be a little bit worse because now will get in trouble for not telling the truth. But you at least have to be upfront with me on what's going on, so at least I can potentially help or be able to direct you to the right people. And so I think no.
And that's the concerning part. It's like she's an 11-year-old. I mean, but again, like I also told somebody, while I could understand that people want to crucify him and say that he should believe his 11-year-old, 11 and 12. I was 11 when I was 11 years old. I was in the 7th grade.
Yes.
Sometimes kids just fucking lie. And
yes.
It does not matter what the reason is. It does not matter that they know better. They lie because they don't want to get in trouble.
That or they just don't want to talk about it.
All I can say is, right. So, I mean, because think about, like, you could have had a shit day at school, and the folks could have been ragging on you and talking crazy about you, or what they would consider bullying today. But we know it is, motherfuckers just ragging on you at the lunch table. Somebody could have ragged on your outfit all day, the entire time you were at school, to the point you were near tears. These motherfuckers was on your ass all day. And you get in the car, and your parents ask you, "How was school?" What you say?
It was cool. It was fine.
And just go. It was cool. And you go on. And think of how many times, even when we were kids, unless it was something just out of the ordinary, completely nuts, we didn't tell our parents anything about what happened at school. How was your day? It was cool. I had a test. I did all right. Sure. We weren't forthcoming with the details of our social life. So it is a distinct possibility that she may have just been like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because at that age, we automatically assume that our parents are out of touch and they don't understand anything. They don't get it.
So, yeah. So, I think people were really hard on him. Do I think he definitely maybe should have asked her privately about it and then been like, hey, I know that you've been stealing money from my wallet. I need you to come clean about what's going on. If you don't want to do that, then we need to discuss punishment. I'm going to have to ground you. But at the same time, again, sometimes motherfucking kids just fucking lie. Sometimes they do shit they have no business doing, and they lie about it. And until they're caught in that lie, they're just going to lie. So he could have been asking that child every motherfucking day when she's stealing out of his wallet, and she could have just kept saying no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
until he could prove she was lying.
Now she might be like that. It might be Mama. I did see her go in there. That'd be funny.
It's shitty, but I'm just saying. And granted, I say all that to say it's a post on Reddit, so I could judge it from the information he gave. But I also feel like you know your own kids. And some people have kids that lie. Some people have kids that are thieves. Yes. And they know their kids are thieves and liars. And then some people have children who they're like, that sounds out of character for my child. Something must be wrong.
Look,
I don't know which child he has.
If someone were to tell me that my sweet Raylan was bad mouthing or talking back, I'd be like, yeah, that was her. What did she say? I'll address it. If someone told me my oldest one just quiet, nonchalant, have nothing to say, and like, okay, let me talk to her, let me see what's going on. Now, if they said one of them hauled off and slapped somebody, I'm like, well, what did they do? Because they had to push them to the edge for that to happen. Tell me the full story. You know?
Exactly. So, I mean, again, I think people know their children to some extent. So I didn't want to be the person to be like, oh, she's 11 and she's gonna tell you the truth, because I mean, she might not.
And that's another thing, man. Like, I try not to get hard on people because I don't know the right way. And it depends on who you're talking to. A lot of things could look bad. I mean, parenting is trial and error. That's it. You take a little bit of what you learned when you grew up, what's right or what you deem is right, and then you kind of ad-lib from there and hope for the best.
And you do kind of freestyle it until you figure it out. It kind of is what it is. Well, God, good luck to him. Hopefully his relationship with his daughter is not in irreparable damage and it can't be fixed. I would assume that it probably is fine. She's 11 years old. And people were in the comments talking about she's going to remember this day forever. And I'm just like,
this is 11. This is the first time her life was ruined. I'm just saying it's going to continue.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, She got a life. She got a whole lot of life ruined ahead of her. God bless
Look,
her. She thinks this is she thinks this is the point where her relationship with her parents is fractured forever. They gonna have a rough ass
whew.
13 to 18.
Hey man, wait till high school. Wait
I'm
till
gonna say if they think this is the straw that broke the camel's back, it's about to get real wild over there.
look, man. Look, there's plenty of times where I look back and I'm like, yeah, man, it's funny now, but at the time, oh, it was tragic. I swear it was the worst thing that ever
Yeah,
happened to me.
horrible, and you were never gonna get over it, and now you're just like, God, I was fucking stupid.
Mm. Man, look, that's like the time I was forced to wear some cheap shoes because I didn't take care of the ones I had. I let them get put in lost and found unbeknownst to me. And so me being the spoiled little brat as I was, told my mom, "Oh, mama, don't worry about it. It's okay. We can just get some more." And she was like, "You know what? You right." I still remember it. She bought me some all white. And when I say all white, I'm talking about big white shoes. And the name brand was Voit. Not Volt, Voit. Voit. I don't even know what the word means.
That shoe is probably as old as either of our parents.
Yes. It was, I think she said she went to Walmart. She just grabbed a
I
pair.
don't
Didn't
even
even look.
think they make that shoe brand anymore.
I don't believe so. And I remember she came home, dropped it on the table, and said, "Here's your brand new shoes." And I said, "I'm not wearing those." "Oh, yes, you are." "No, I'm not." She was like, "Yes, you are, because apparently the shoes that I got you, which they were clean too. I had like some Air Max. I can't remember what year. Dang. Anyways, but they had a color scheme that went with my Tennessee Titans jersey. You know, the baby blue and dark blue. So I was like, "Oh, I'm fresh." But anyways, I had to wear those for like 2 weeks. And then, of course, all the people in school was fucking with me because they were like, "Oh, man, hey, man, those are clean. I'm going to have to give me a pair of those." I'm like, "Man, kiss my ass. You already know you ain't." But at the time, it was terrible. And the funny thing is, y'all probably say, "Oh, that's toxic." Like, nah, it was a lesson learned. I got my lesson.
And I think that is the thing. I get that children, learn better when they're not humiliated and that they kind of can glean lessons without having to be embarrassed. But I also think there's certainly a level of learning. Like, again, I don't think that sometimes these types of incidents harm your children. She didn't send you to school with shoes that were busting apart at the seams or any of that shit. She just sent you to school in some shoes that she bought from Walmart. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's not bad parenting because you didn't get Nikes to wear to school. And
Mm-hmm.
so things that we would deem life lessons or learning lessons like that are things where people say now that you're bullying your children. And I was like, are you bullying your
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't fully agree with that because I think to bully them, we will have to kind of exert some superiority over them. Like, but this in this particular case, the way, and of course, some people may say, "Oh, you're just rationalizing this." Okay, whatever. But what I looked at is like, hey, man, I didn't take care of the nice stuff I did have. And so now she has to go spend her hard earned money to buy it again after I didn't take care of it the first time. So this was to show the importance that one, money don't grow on trees, and two, you got to appreciate the things you get. And of course, granted, I recovered my stuff later, and two, I also got something afterwards after the punishment went, after I was done with that punishment. That wasn't the worst one. The worst one was when she gave me like the 7 habits of the highly effective teen, and I had to write a full-on report about it.
children?
That was worse. Like that was
Yeah, parent. Yeah, my mom was a parent, a homework giving parent. So yeah, I understand that shit is the worst. Um, what else happened today? Oh well, I guess we did speak about it last time. Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter, Gigi Bryant,
mm-hmm.
As well as 7 other people perished in a helicopter crash earlier this month. And they had a private ceremony. The Bryant family did, I believe, last week or the week before. And then today, on 2/24/20, they had a public ceremony at the Staples Center Memorial for the two of them. So again, rest in peace to them. I watched parts of the stream today. I did not watch it in its entirety because I felt like it might be just kind of difficult to sit there in that type of sadness and still have to work.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't set myself up for that kind of failure. For those of you who don't know, Vanessa is Kobe Bryant's widow. She said that the importance of this particular day was just two, because that was Gianna's number, 24 because that was one of Kobe's numbers, in addition to number 8, and then 20 because 20 actually it lined up because he was in the NBA 20 years.
Yeah.
So she actually came up and spoke and managed to hold it together and did extremely well. So just, prayers and love and support and positive vibes to her and her girls and really anybody that was affected by the loss, because I just honestly do not know that that is something that I could do. She got up and spoke, and talked about her child in the past tense as well as her spouse. So like I said, I obviously am not married and I don't have any kids, but I do not think that I would even be able to get up and, I just.
It would be tough. I would say that because
Yeah.
especially with the child. Of course, granted, your spouse, but no one expects to bury a child. That's just the reality of it. Like none of us really expect to outlive our children.
And
And
I think that's what makes those type of deaths so hard, because you can get over, like it hurts, but you can get over the fact that a grown person who has lived a relatively full life is gone, and you feel like, okay, well, the Lord called them home, but they have been on the earth, several decades and have, for all intents and purposes, been able to live life.
yeah,
But with babies or toddlers or, in this case, a 13-year-old girl with a full life ahead of her who really has not experienced anything, I guess it just hits home in a way that is just very sad for people. And I think you can see that in your own children, and it makes you want to just hug them a little bit tighter, because I think it puts us all in the mindset. Granted, when anybody dies, you feel like life is not promised to any of us. Tomorrow
mm-hmm.
is not promised, but especially with children, it just feels like their lives are cut very short.
Agreed. And I know a lot of people wouldn't agree with this, but a lot of early death is mostly a tragedy. And I know some people will equate that to how that person lived up until that point and say, no, they deserved it. And I was like, nah, I said, some people do figure things out and do become better. So I think some people should be granted that in a sense. But as a young person, you don't even really you haven't figured out life yet. You haven't really experienced anything. So I do agree with that. So, I mean, more the strength of her being able to get up and speak about the ones that she cared about and loved, and not really break down. Because I mean, most likely, if it were me, I probably wouldn't be able to go through it. I'm just be honest. I,
Yeah, I don't think I have it yet. And granted, I say that because I have not had to do it, but I think sometimes you are put in situations where you muster the strength and courage to do what needs to be done in that moment.
mm-hmm.
So, like I said, again, just kudos to her and just prayers over her, because, yeah, like I said, for most people, they say it's just not something they could do. They'd probably still be crumpled up on the floor dealing with the grief, and she was able to, get up and stand there unassisted on that stage without somebody beside her to hold her up and give, a beautiful eulogy about these two people that she cared about and loved. And so I thought that was pretty awesome. I will say, I guess, for the Matthew A. Cherry, the gentleman that I forget his writing partner, but the guys that crowdfunded their animated short that's a book on Twitter, Hair Love, that they won the Oscar for.
Mm-hmm.
I think he put it best and very eloquently that he dedicated his award to Kobe Bryant, and may we all have a second act in life as beautiful as his was.
Yeah.
And that lends itself to what you said earlier about people growing and changing. And I think that we can all have that second act in life. And it's not too late for any of us. And I mean, granted, I think that when we are young, we do feel like we're invincible and we have, 40 years in front of us to do whatever it is. But, I think we all certainly have the capacity for growth and can have an amazing second act of life.
Hey, man, I tell people, life goes, you know what? It's actually funny. I remember there's a few things that I learned from my dad that he always, a few sayings. Number one, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. All my fellas, y'all know what that means. But and number two is after high school, time goes by quickly. And I swear, after graduating high school and going on to college, like these 20 years have gone by. I don't know. You look back and you remember 18, 19. You're like, oh, yeah, I was fresh out. Now here we are, 30 something. You're like, damn, I don't. I never expected.
And it doesn't even feel like it's been 20 years. I think that's the interesting part of it, right? Like we're 30 something years old and we know how old we are, but it does not feel like we are as far removed from those very vivid memories that we have as we are. It does not feel like it has been 20 years since you had those memories, but it is knocking on 20.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I hit 15 this year, it being out of high school. And so,
I mean, it's insane, right? It doesn't feel like
it's crazy. But I mean, it's the same with kids. Like you think you got so long with them. I remember when Ted, which is my oldest girl, was born, and here she is 12. So it's like time flies by, man.
It does. So, cherish the people in your life, hold them close, be kind to each other, and, remember that, life is not promised to us. So let's just, make do with what we have in the best ways that we can.
Yeah. Hey, man. That's the word. Know what I mean?
Okay. Word, Bird. What else did you?
Well, I think the last thing you wanted to discuss was, apparently there was a debate on, what was it, Rolex versus houses? Rental? Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So I do, again, I apologize. I don't remember these people's names. So again, I'm just kind of paraphrasing this, but there was a video that surfaced online. Basically a gentleman was celebrating his birthday and it was, being filmed by somebody else. And his girlfriend presented him with some cologne and assumed with like a packet or portfolio of papers showing that she had purchased a home. He picks it up and looks at it and says something to the effect of, I don't want to have to do any work and you should have gotten me a Rolex. Which he did come out later and say that he was kidding about the Rolex and that he is grateful for any gift that she gave him. But because Twitter is full of Inspector Gadget, Nancy Drew, Harry spy-ass motherfuckers, they tracked down the rental property and blew up the pictures and found essentially what this girl bought him. And it is a house in Detroit.
A dope house.
And it needs a lot of work. Sis bought him a bando. And I just thought it was interesting because it stirred up a debate about what constitutes, one, I guess, a good birthday gift, and why is it that black people want things or people want things, I should say black people want things that depreciate in value instead of something like a house that's an asset that can help you build wealth and passive income.
Well, see, here's the thing with homes is it depends on where it's located on if it's going to build wealth. That's number one. Number two, everybody's not built for that. Are they? I don't know. If for some reason your birthday rolls around and instead of getting you something like, I don't know, some kind of purse, a gift card to your favorite restaurant, I say, hey, yo, I bought you an entire house. Now, the roof is caving in. All you got to do is get the roof fixed. And I'm telling you, you could bring in 15 to 2,000 a month easily. But you also got to take care of the insurance. You also got to make sure that you got contractors on deck in case something goes wrong. You also got to make sure that you have a maintenance man available in case they need you. Because, If you're renting the property, you're still in charge of the property and all the maintenance and the wear and tear of the home. So yeah, just take care of all that.
No, I don't think I'd be on board for that. What I do think is that I would probably either sell the property to someone who was interested as an investor for probably more than I purchased it for, because it seems like she purchased it at maybe auction, so she didn't pay. Maybe she paid maybe $2,000 to $4,000 for it, and she
Mm-hmm.
purchased it at auction, um, or something to that effect because it was foreclosed on. She didn't pay what I would probably consider to be normal price for a home. Um, so I would probably try to sell it to somebody at a higher price and recoup my cost. Or you could maybe take out a loan and then turn it over to a property management firm, so then they are in
And they
charge
have them
of
manage it.
maintenance. Yeah, and then have them manage and be in charge of maintenance for a percentage. Um, but that also implies that I have the money needed to, one, do the work needed to the house. I
Mm-hmm.
have the time needed to do to the house needs to be done. And if I don't, I have the money to hire people to do the work that needs to be done, purchase the materials. And if not, I have, again, a credit score that allows me to be able to take out a loan for those repairs.
No, man, just go ahead and get your tool belt and your hard hat and go ahead and take care of it.
Right, and I think that was the gentleman's point, because people kind of raked him across the coals and said that he was ungrateful and he should just appreciate that she got him a gift and she's trying to help him become a businessman. And like you said, not everybody wants to do that. And people who know me know that I'm not necessarily against hard work, but I'm also one of people that likes what I like. I enjoy watching HGTV. I enjoy watching Flip or Flop, but I have never wanted to flip or flop a house.
Yeah.
Now, once you do the renovations, would I like to maybe come in and do some designs or take out the tile? Sure. But I don't want to have to be in charge of making sure the hot water heater and the wiring is correct and then nobody's stolen the copper pipes out of the goddamn walls. Like,
Yes.
I don't be responsible for that.
And part of the issue is just, if you're going to do it correctly, it does cost a lot, because not only you're getting certified electricians to make sure the wiring and everything is done properly, so there isn't a fire hazard. You're also not the dude up the block that you know who done it maybe once. And the same thing with carpentry. You have to make sure everything is rated properly, make sure the roof is done properly, make sure everything is built to code. And so there's a lot more into it than people let on. They just think, oh, it's simple. We just go get a group of people we know and we'll just take care of it. And it's like, nah, you got to pass inspection, bruh.
And I think that's also the thing is people think about, okay, we can do this ourselves. And, you know, they're looking at it like it is, like it's their house, right? They're looking at it like I bought this and now I'm responsible for it. So whatever I do repair wise, it's just good enough. But that you just because your house, that's okay at your own home does not mean it's available for the market and that you're going to be able to get renters. And then, like you said, again, the neighborhood matters. And the way that he reacted to where it was when he asked her, it led me to believe that maybe it's not in the best neighborhood. And we all know how that goes. Your home is only worth as much as the stuff around it.
Exactly.
So if you have the nice house on the block and it's all gentrified and nice and gorgeous, but it's surrounded by crack house and prostitutes on the corner, sex workers on the corners, then you're still, I mean, no one's going to buy it. No. Because then it's like, who's going to want to live here when everything around them is crime ridden? They're not going to. You're not even going to get a good return on it. And then somebody made the suggestion that you turn it into like a Section 8 house. Well, their codes are
more stringent
than they are for regular people.
Yes.
Like, that's even worse.
But that goes to show, and see, here's my whole thing. I always wanted to say this, and I have this, I talk to my old lady about this all the time. The way economies work is everyone's not going to own their own small business. Everyone's not going to be a flip or flop person. Everybody's got to go have rental homes and things like that. That's not how things work. And to say that everyone should, I think, is a misrepresentation of everything, because the problem that you have is now you begin an oversaturation. So now everybody's trying to sell the same things. Nobody wants it. or now you're basically lowering your prices to the point where you can't even really gain anything because you have to compete with the next person because of oversaturation. And but then again, it's like everybody's not. Some people are built to be workers. Some people are built to be managers. Some people are built to be CEOs or owners or whatever. Me personally, I like to do my work and go home and not have to worry about work. I don't have to worry about emails, answering everybody, making, because if you own your own business, that's 24/7. They don't care. You got to sleep.
And I think that's what people, and like I jokingly was talking about it, um, and I made the point is like you really on a smaller scale you have to think of it as again, and I think the part that got overlooked in all of this, it was this person's birthday. If you're with this person, you love this person is your partner, why would you give them a gift that you know they have no interest in, have never expressed any interest in wanting to do anything like that, and now they have to feel guilty because you have now put them on the hook to feel eternally grateful for you doing something that they have never asked you to do or wanted you to do.
Yeah.
If it is my birthday and I ask you for something, you don't have to get me the thing that I asked for. But please do not give me a gift that requires work. I equate it to me saying, hey, I don't really want a big party or anything for my birthday. I would really just like a birthday cake.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of you then being like, okay, let me just go buy her a nice chocolate cake because I know she likes chocolate. She just wants to have a chill night, maybe have some drinks and eat some cake.
No, I'm going to invite all your friends.
50 people, have a surprise party, and then instead of bringing me a cake, you buy me a stand mixer, baking supplies, a hat, an apron, and some cake mix, and tell me, happy birthday, I want you to start your own cake baking business out of your kitchen.
Yes. She's like, no, I think you misinterpreted my request.
Why have birthday cake when you can make the birthday cakes and have half of them?
I hate those memes. It's like people who be like, what's those memes always say? Oh man, if someone give you 100 million, or they put a book that teach you how to make 100 million, I'm gonna pick the book because, whatever reason. I'm like, yo, dog, you can take the 100 million.
Just take 100 million and then spend part of it on
the book
and read it.
So it's like, even there's another one where it was like, do you want a perfect credit score or do you want like 5 million? I was like, take the 5 million, pay off all your shit. Eventually you'll have a perfect credit score because cash rules all.
And that's the part that I don't understand. And that's, again, I don't think people understand the way that these things work and the way that credit works. Because if they did, they wouldn't say this type of stupid shit. Like, you can't, your credit is an art, which, let's be honest, credit is certainly an arbitrary, well, it's not even arbitrary, but it's arbitrary in the fact that we don't really know how it is that they precisely calculate your credit score, because that's proprietary information. So the government is using these entities to to rate your credit worthiness via score that you actually don't know 100% how it is that they've come to that score. All you know is that there are ticks and that you're supposed to pay your bills on time and you're supposed to have a certain amount of credit.
You have credit cards, but don't use them. Only you don't over a certain percentage.
So all we know is that these are the things we're supposed, and you pay your bills on time.
Yeah.
So all we know are these are the things we're supposed to do to keep our credit score healthy. So then you're telling people, but again, in order for you to do these things, the key word here is pay. You have to be able to pay your credit card bills, to have credit cards and keep them open, keep the balance low. You have to be able to pay your bills on time with money in order to keep your score. So again, like you said, cash rules everything. I think about it. If you, like, people that are, that come from nothing and become famous or hit the lottery or whatever, you buy whatever the fuck you want to. I may not qualify for a home loan, but if I say I'll give you $500,000 cash for this bitch, you gonna sign on the dotted line.
They're gonna say sure. By all means.
They're going to take the money. They're not going to give a fuck, because why would I want to be wrapped up in a mortgage and have to go through somebody else when I'm giving you a cash offer? None of this is wrapped up in payments. It's all yours right now.
Even then,
I'm going to pay for this car in cash. I'm going to take it off the lot right now. No, we got to do all the paperwork and you need to go through. No.
But then again, let's keep it real. Keep it funky. Do you think that if you had anywhere from 500,000 to 500 million in the bank, they're not gonna give you a credit card? Because part of the credit card is, can you pay this? Can you pay it back? They don't care. You can have I promise you probably have a terrible credit score. If you show that what you have currently and what you are worth, they don't give a they don't care. It's like, oh, they can pay it back. It don't matter. He got a 500 credit score. That's fine. He got 5 million in the bank.
His credit score is 300. I don't know if it can be 300. His credit score is 300, but he also is a multi-billionaire and has a private jet. Yeah, we're gonna give him this. We're gonna give him this black card. We're gonna give him this Amex.
Unlimited. We know you good for it. That's how it works.
We know who you are. We know you're good for it, and that's what people don't understand. To the regular person, that sounds like an excellent thing to do, and I would rather take a perfect credit score. But again, all that does is allow you the leeway to then take out money. Like, all it does is allow you the leeway to borrow money from other people. That is it.
That's it.
It's not a credit score judges whether or not you are allowed to buy shit on credit.
That's it.
Are you capable of paying this back? Do we feel like you will pay this back on time, in full, every month? That is all your credit score is indicative of.
That's it. But that's what. But that goes with the small business idea. Which I'm not telling people not to. If that's your passion, I'm not telling you not to get a small business. I'm just saying be aware of what you're getting into, because there are a lot of things you.
And there are a lot of people, and again, and look at how many people have small businesses or were small businesses owners, and their business goes under because you can have a really great idea and a really great product, but be a shitty boss and business person. It's not for everybody.
It's not, and I try to tell people that, but we have this overcorrection thing where it's like, hell, none of us owned any, so now everybody. It's like, no, that's not how that works. That's like some people, sure, but I'm tired of the little. Oh, I got another T-shirt with a random logo on. I know these Hanes, but I want to charge you $50 for a shirt. No, dog, I can't do that. I won't buy $50 I won't buy shirts for that much any other time.
Yeah, and I think that's the other thing about supporting black business. Which I don't want to make this into some situation where I feel like you should not support black business. I absolutely do, and I feel like with any small business that, sometimes starting out, the service is not as good. Maybe they aren't as quick to answer emails. Maybe it takes a little bit longer for products to ship. And I understand all of these things, because if it's you and one other person or just you by yourself and all of a sudden it explodes, you're in a situation where you may not have the people and the cost and collateral to actually expand your business in a way that makes that you are keeping up with orders and stuff. And it happens to small businesses every day. It happens. So I'm not saying don't support these businesses. I'm not saying if it's what you're, like you said, if you're into it, there's nothing wrong with that. But just keep in mind that it's not for everyone. Not everybody has to have a business. If everyone has a business, who's going to work at any of these businesses?
It's a good question. I always ask that. It's like, you need workers. Workers is what make money.
Yeah, if the market's oversaturated and everybody's selling the same fucking $50 ass Hanes t-shirt, again, I can't buy a t-shirt from everybody. Also, at some point, I'm going to think to myself, I could recreate that logo on a Hanes t-shirt that I bought in bulk on Amazon. Why don't I just make my own t-shirt? And I think that's where everybody gets messed up, because you see the price point on something and you're like, I could do that myself. And then you simply, I'm not going to bother with that.
I don't know. I would support good business if it's something that I need. If it's a situation where, like, I don't spend big on clothing anyway, so I'm not the person you're going after. I'm just keeping it real. That's not me. I got kids. They take all my money. So.
I mean, yeah, and I think, but again, and then I think that it's also one of those things where it's interesting to see what people will actually buy. And I say that because that girl on Twitter, I think it's Mystic something. She sells like those cleanses or whatever, right? And I was confused because I thought maybe she was selling some type of juice or some type of oils or something. It turns out that she just thinks she's one of these like healers, or she has some special magical aura. And essentially, these people are paying her to send them good vibes through her mind.
Man, what? Hey, why you playing though? Gwyneth Paltrow has been able to hustle the game with was it Goop? I think it's his name.
Yeah, overpriced shit that white people think they should have because
Yeah.
Gwyneth Paltrow said.
Yeah. Like they sell stickers that's supposed to be like they're supposed to basically dang, I'm trying to remember how they described it. But basically you stick them on and they're supposed to change your mood. And I'm like, she basically hustling y'all. And it's cool. It's fine. Whatever.
I mean, in the granted, people pay for things that they believe in, so it is what it is. And I'm not gonna knock that girl's hustle. I just don't see the benefits in it. But if these people legitimately feel that they can email somebody, pay them $10 or whatever, and then they say, okay, our mystical cleanse is open. Make sure you clear your mind and your space and your spirit and have your auras open to receive the good vibes, and they feel like they actually are getting vibes and it makes them better and their hair grows longer and their skin clears up. More power to them. Because listen, if it works for you, then it works for you.
Well,
so
let's do it.
Is that there is a market out there for every fucking thing. So y'all could diversify and quit selling us the same 3 products. I know you feel like that's easy money, but I promise you, I cannot buy a t-shirt from everybody. I cannot buy your ugly ass paintings. Like, I need y'all to diversify into some other things. There's a market for everything, but y'all are oversaturating these bitches. Again, I just want y'all to do better.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hear, well, what are you selling? Nothing, because I've never told y'all that I wanted to own a business or be an entrepreneur. I'm not selling shit, and I don't have to. But if you want me to buy it, maybe you should sell something that not everybody else is fucking selling.
Yes. I enjoy my alone time. I enjoy my time where I don't have to worry about work. I can just worry about my family and friends.
Everybody else kind of wondering why the packages didn't get sent out, answering emails from angry people about why UPS stole their package.
Yep.
I don't want to be involved.
I don't want no smoke.
I want to go home. I want to enjoy my time off, and then I want to go back to work, punch back in. When I get paid, I want to take that paycheck and spend it on whatever the fuck it is that you guys keep peddling to me and live my black ass life. That's it. I don't want to do any of that. Now the popular thing is everybody gets vending machines. I haven't seen a vending machine in person in fucking a year and a half. So
people still buy from vending machines? Are those things still around?
Apparently, everybody, let them tell it. They got vending machine routes, and I done bought 10 vending machines, and everybody's buying chips out the vending machines. I don't have any vending machines in my job. I have not seen a vending machine any goddamn where.
Well, first of all, let's just keep it real. The first real hustle on the streets was the cool cup lady. Y'all pay y'all respects.
Hey, man. Honestly, a true pioneer and an entrepreneur.
Yes, thank you.
Lady, the candy lady.
Yeah, and sometimes they were one and the same. She'll even have chips on a good day.
Look
and Lucas.
Celebrate Black History. Know your Black History facts. Shit. First entrepreneurs out there.
That's right.
Candy lady.
Oh man, but no, like V said, we're not telling people no, don't do these things. It's just make sure it's what you really want to do, and then research, and then provide a good product. That's and go from there.
Don't give people gifts that require work. Nobody wants work as a present.
So
don't give people things that are work as a present.
Nah, see, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna buy you a Lego set because I know I missed your birthday, so I'm gonna just buy you a Lego set. Say, hey, if you put the work and put this together, it will be this whole thing that it looks like on the box, or like a.
And if I was into Legos and model kits, that would absolutely be something to give me. Like people that like puzzles. I'm not saying these are not gifts that you get people, but I'm saying you do not get people gifts that require them to put in time and money that they would not otherwise invest if you had not purchased the gift. I like puzzles. I would buy a puzzle of my own accord. If you bought me a puzzle, I would put it together happily and be very chill and zen while drinking some tea or a pop or something and have a great fucking time. If you bought me a puzzle where I had to buy extra pieces off Amazon and then a special glue and some other stuff in order to put the puzzle together, I would be like, why did you fucking get me this? Why would you get me a gift or I have to go seek out the things that I need to use the gift.
Yeah, that actually be a dope idea. You get somebody a puzzle and then you take like 20 pieces and then give them like a scavenger hunt, and they gotta, in order to put it together, they gotta go search for it.
Okay, so shows us. Clearly you didn't learn. Shows us you didn't learn shit. You are. I would be mad. I would be up fucking set. A scavenger hunt for 20 puzzle pieces. There's not no money involved. It's not no food at the end of this. It's just the puzzle pieces from the box you fucking gave me. The pieces should have been in there anyway.
Yes, you just get to conclude the project. That's it.
Nope. All right. Nope. Just about enough of that. The moral of the story is when you are in a relationship with people or you claim to care about people, a lot of you guys are horrible ass friends and you're selfish and you just don't know that you're selfish. You don't get people things as a gift because you think it's something that you secretly would like. You get people a gift because it's something that they would like. And if you are the type of person who gives people gifts based on things that you think they would like but they don't really like, then you don't know the person very well.
Hey, that's facts. Just don't look. Let me know what you want, and therefore I get it. That's why I don't ever go out of my way to try to surprise people with nothing. I just say, tell me what you want. We'll take care of it, and we'll go from there. Oh,
exactly.
Man.
Even if you get in the ballpark, it's okay. But just to assume that somebody wants something that you just you do better not to make assumptions about people and things, especially when you could just ask. Like, please quit being that person.
I mean, that's the overall thing. Don't assume, ask, and go from there.
Honestly, that ties back to that "am I the asshole?" Don't assume your children are liars. Just ask them.
Ask them. But oh man, okay, all right. Well, socials, man. You've been you're the active one on Twitter and all the other socials. I'm lame. Okay. I know.
You're old now.
Yeah, I know.
You guys can find me on the Twitters and the Instas. It is at BJ_Burton. On Facebook, it is Ramik Burton. I don't Facebook a whole lot, but that is where you can find me. Please refrain from saying crazy shit, as my family follows me on Facebook, and I don't need my mama to tell me that some demon was under my post saying some crazy shit. Thank you so much. Because we Christian in this house and we don't play with demons. So don't do that. We don't play with demons.
When's the last time you stepped in the church again? Was it Easter of 2020 or no, not 2020, 2010?
Easter 76, but you need to mind your own goddamn
business. I was just wondering, I just want to make sure if you walk in, you don't start getting like a little hot under the collar and all that stuff. I'm looking out for you.
That's why we finna close out this podcast so I can do something the devil's never done to you, and that's leave. Yeah. Since you want to play games today. Okay, Snapchat is Meek B. The show also has socials. You can talk to us on some of those socials as soon as I tell you what that Twitter account is, and it is chopping it up _pod. Somebody will get back to you if you say something there. We like to tweet. We don't tweet a lot from there, but we like to hear from you. So please do. Show's email. What is that, Quentin?
Good question.
Put you on the spot.
I know, huh? Hold up. I'm gonna figure it out. I promise. It is. Hold up. Chopping it up with Q _pod at gmail.com. There we go. All right, cool.
Socials, go.
Yes. I am still at _Q_the_great on Instagram as well as on Twitter. I promise if you at me, I do get back at you. I just haven't been tweeting as much. I actually been working, unfortunately, and all this school stuff. I don't really have time, but I do follow up with everybody who is at me, and I do respond. And I am on Facebook as well, which is just my name, Quentin Simpson. You can find me there. It's pretty mostly boring, mostly family stuff and old college photos from back in 2005. But yeah, man, other than that, you could also check out the podcast on any place you can find most podcasts. That of course there'll be Spreaker, SoundCloud. We are on iTunes, and I want to say, hold on, there's another one as well.
iHeartRadio.
There we go. We got iHeartRadio, and there's actually not Stitcher, but it's another one starts with an S. Shoot. Spotify. There we go. Spotify, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Castbox, and Podcast Addict. There we go.
Anywhere that you listen to dope podcasts is where you can find us.
There you go. But man, other than that, man, I really appreciate all the listeners, all the people who do support, all the people who share, all the people who comment. Even if you share with someone new and things like that, you're greatly appreciated. We're just here to kind of drive conversations and make fun of certain things, but we don't mean no harm. That's pretty much it. Other than that, yeah, if there's any other topics or anything like you want to hear us extrapolate about, you can always hit us up. And other than that, V, got anything else for
him? Nope. Happy birthday to all of our pod fellows and the Pottern family, as we would call them, who have birthdays in February. There's a whole hell of a lot of you, so I'm not going to try to name you all, but happy birthday to each and every one of you. You know who you are. Hope you celebrate. Hope it's amazing. Hope you have plenty of cake and all the good things that you love.
All right, cool. And again, happy Black History Month. Actually try to learn something this month. And don't just depend on the schools to teach your kids. God damn it. But nah. Other than that, man, we up out. We appreciate it.